so quick.
It's the fringe. The fringe adds speed. It's like how kids get new shoes.
That might be too loud. It might pick up the music over us. I could be crazy.
Oh, yeah.
We could do a little bit louder. We could do it louder.
Good morning.
Hello.
Happy Thursday.
Oh my god, it is Thursday. Where did the week go?
It's
How
the
did that
30th.
happen? Oh
This
my
month is
god, where
almost
did the
done.
month go?
It's finally
Okay.
almost done.
I mean, it's felt like it's been the longest month ever, but I felt like the days weren't even ticking on, so how did the 30th come up?
I know.
Has it been like a long month for you? Was it like the longest month?
Did you see the thing that people were posting about the January, that the words, every word was a different, or every letter was a different illustration?
Oh no.
So like J was like a fire with a kangaroo.
Oh.
And then every letter was a different tragedy that's happened in just January. And then that made me realize, we're still in January?
Yeah.
And people were like, man, I'm ready for February.
Yeah.
It's been a long month.
Yeah.
I could not agree more.
It's like I was talking to Casey the other day about an event, and I was like, well, there's still March. And she's like, hold up. It's not even February. And I was like, oh, shit, my bad.
I thought it was February too when people were sharing that. I was like, why are you guys sharing January?
I should probably pull up the video. I didn't even pull it up. I was just excited to be here.
I guess I should share it.
I remember saying hi and then...
So as we start, I want to give a special shout out to Anne from the Kilkennys bathroom. Sorry I was super awkward. So I totally want everybody to say hi to me if you see me out and about. But no, if I'm in a restaurant, I have probably had a drop of RSO on something so that I'm able to eat. So I don't want to look like a bitch. I'm just probably kind of stoned so I can eat my food. And I'm totally excited, I swear. So, hi, I'm so glad you introduced yourself. Pop up in the comments if you're here today. I hope I got your name right. I hope it was Anna, not Anna. But I was like panicked at the moment, like, oh my god, somebody recognized me. How weird.
That's what I do. That's what I do. I'm like, oh, hi. Yep, you know me. Even if I knew you, I don't know you now because I'm anxiety.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all. I'm like, hi, anxiety.
That's what it was. I was like,
Oh. Okay, it's not letting me share the video now. Okay. Well, I definitely feel that anxiety thing as well. I get like that every day. Like, I don't even have to be meeting people, and I think I get it. Like, as soon as I wake up, I'm like, oh god, today, what is today? What do I have to do today? What's happening? Okay. Good morning, good morning, good morning.
morning, everybody.
Oh,
Maddie, Casey, Mandy, Stephanie,
Hello, Jess.
Jennifer, Monica.
Hello, everybody.
For those that didn't know, Jess Nickhead is my sister.
Like real sister? Like that's real life?
Yeah.
I didn't know that at all. I really didn't. I was one of those that didn't know.
I just learned like a couple days ago.
Yeah. We have the same mom and dad.
Well, I mean, like we're like the
We don't just like
we're
say we
sisters.
do. No. So artistic is the family thing.
Yeah, it seems like it. Like looking at the picture over there of my children, like you.
Yeah, they paint.
All of you.
They
and then
paint
your
and draw as well.
clothes, like everything you do, you're artistic. Look at our little coffee thing. Like, can you see it?
Oh no, it's off screen.
Well, there's a
It's
fabulous
fancy.
little thermos warmer
Yeah.
Little
dispenser.
I got fancy and found it, so I can bring to the events for coffee bars.
Scout is a wonderful host with a fabulous home, and I'm really glad that you invited us. And thank you for breakfast, because it's fantastic. I don't know if you guys can see it, but
I tried
It's
to
like
this one on
it's like
screen.
right here.
yeah, I was gonna
Little
try to
breakfast
wait
tacos.
and show mine, but I really just kept eating it while we were getting ready.
I know.
That's why we like went live, a few minutes late, I think, because we were like, oh,
We're still
food
eating.
and coffee. 9:30ish.
You know, I've had marijuana in my day already if I'm saying, this food is good.
You know, I've had it if I'm eating. So.
Right? That's what I'm saying. Like, if any of that is happening within the first 2 hours of being awake, then
You guys
we have some good marijuana.
doing the breakfast thing, the marijuana thing.
What are
What's
you
everybody
having for
doing?
breakfast?
Yeah.
Yeah, what are you having for breakfast?
Do you always make
Give me
breakfast?
some
Like, is that a
ideas.
thing? Like, because you seem like, I don't.
I've learned over life conditioning with my children that I waste a lot if I cook it every day.
Yeah, yeah.
So they're like, eggs. Or like when I had my burrito business, they liked it in the beginning, but then they'd be like, "Can you make one that like I only like what's in the inside?" Or, and then I was like, "If you can't, this is a mass production.
Yeah.
You can't stop the burrito factory. So.
It's made with love. Just take it." Well, this is
But
made with love.
it's just
definitely.
eggs and sausage and cheese and a lot of butter.
It's so good.
But I did put like fresh garlic in there too.
Okay. See, booging it up.
I was kind of out of chef stuff this week with some the hard times, but next week I'm gonna have some good groceries.
Frozen chocolate chip waffles. I eat whatever the 700 kids eat. Mandy has hella kids, y'all. She has like just 3 kids, but I feel like it's a lot.
That probably feels like 700.
I feel like you round up at some point.
I love to put peanut butter in my pancake mix, and I found a peanut butter that has maple in it. Jif makes maple peanut butter.
Oh, okay.
So I actually put that on like the brown sugar cinnamon bread that Pepperidge Farm makes. Toast that and put the peanut butter on there. But I figured out the other day, I was like, that's like 2 in 1. It's like the pancake already tastes like it has syrup in it.
Oh my god, yeah, okay, so we'll come back over for that. Don't worry. Yeah, we'll totally get to, verify that that's a fantastic idea.
Jess, I was totally going to address that I was not over here grabbing Scout's butt, and that boo is back here.
It's the most
I realized how that
fabulous
looked after a few
little dog
minutes.
in the world. This is the
But-
most cuddly little dog.
I get so excited when there's hypoallergenic dogs, because I can finally pet a puppy.
I didn't realize that.
She's like only inside too.
That's
She never goes
awesome.
out to go potty, so. She needs it bad, but
She's a little stuffed animal.
she's
I
just
love
dirty
it.
from our hands.
And she's so sweet. She's
Yes.
so sweet.
I'm actually gonna, I got her from a breeder, so I knew that she was like legit, but, cause the breeder only breeds Labradors, not poodles, so they got her for themselves.
Oh yeah.
But they were like, she's really wanting attention all the time, and we have a toddler, so we heard you wanted a dog with attention seeking, and I was like, yes, I need someone to need me. And so I got her, but I didn't get her shot record from them yet. So they said, yeah, you can just pick it up from us or the vet. Either way, whichever's closer to you, they have it. But that's all I needed to take her to nursing homes. And I've been thinking about taking her to see all the elderly people because I love going to places like that anyway. And I do special needs work, but I thought that would be really cool for her. She can literally just sit in anyone's lap and she doesn't.
Well, and puppy love is healing, and
Yes.
it's more love, and it's warm, cuddly, like.
And this is her peak nap hours too. She's like, Mama, me, breakfast, cuddles.
So cute.
Who's
Yeah. Lots of people.
I wish she could come to the events, but then everyone would want to bring their dog.
Oh,
I
yeah.
feel so bad. But she just chills like a freaking stuffed animal. It's so crazy.
I want to totally redirect this and ask you about your speaking engagement that I saw you had the other day. If you feel like you want to talk about that, because I think that is amazing, and I'm super proud of you, and I want to hear about it because I haven't got to talk to you about it, so I want to know.
I didn't say a whole lot. I just said it went really well because I feel like how well it went, it doesn't do it justice to just comment about it on Facebook, And I haven't really had a live, but the facilitator contacted me afterwards. And that's what made me be like, okay, I have confirmation. It went as well as I thought. So now I can talk about it. But it was a room full of teenagers, about like 12 to 14-ish. And it's in the Unitarian Church, All Souls Unitarian, on like 26th and I think it's Peoria. Yeah. And then it's not like church ran, but I guess they sponsor it, is what I got from it. But I looked it up online, and it's called OWL, OWL, and it's just an acronym for it. But it's like some kind of sex education, 8-week course, and they go every Sunday. So I think while their family is in church, they're going to this. So I was only asked to be there for about an hour, but I guess it's a few hours long. So there was 3 speakers, and they called us panelists. And it was so cute, but they had a board that had a division of like 4, and it was like your biological makeup, what you were born with, and then like how you identify, what your preferences are, and I can't even remember the other one. But I think it was expression, gender expression. And they had handed out all these Post-its to the whole room of kids and said, where does this go? So there was actually a few that I totally agreed with. This one kid would put things off the board. He was like, riding a motorcycle has nothing to do with any of these. You can be any sex and any gender, and it doesn't even have to be expression. You could just like riding a motorcycle.
Yeah.
And I was like, I like him. So they asked me to come, obviously, because I've had a lot of changes in the last year, but they were like, we just kind of want to know your story and how you got here, and like leave the room open for questions. And they let the kids actually guess how all three of us identified, because we watched a YouTube video together where someone had to basically stereotype and label people that came out. And at the end, who was right and who was wrong was revealed. And they were like, that's pretty cool. So that gave us some information, like research in the field, so I think we could guess. And they were dead on about me. And I was like, dang, I thought this was going to go like 8th graders are a bully. You know, like that's when kids started being mean to me. Yeah. And so I was just like, kind of still having anxiety and fear over even just teenagers. Yeah. But what ended up happening was like, they were either like, they've had this amazing course that changed their thinking, or obviously their parents are probably of our open-minded generation. Right. But I told them about my story, and I said that I'm gender fluid, and that and non-binary is an umbrella, and I'm gender fluid in that I say I'm bisexual, but that really it's just because no one has ever approached me that isn't bi woman or straight man. Yeah. So I don't know if anything else would fit with me. But so I was like, you know, you don't have to label it, but I like to label it. But for you guys, I'd say like, I could be this for today and tomorrow, and then decide, you know, and next week I'm pansexual. So like, things can always change, but it's up to you if you want to identify it. I did just for simplicity of conversation.
Right, because people are going to ask. Because it's something, and that's good, I think. I think it's good for people to ask questions and to be open and to educate everyone, because some of these things are kind of labeled as like taboo, I think. And
see, I've heard a lot like, why do you need a label? Or why do you feel the need to do all this? Or I've even been asked, like, I've known you since we were kids, and like, what is going on? And I'm just like, instead of looking at it like this is maybe like some kind of crisis in my life and I'm grasping onto all these things or whatever, think of it as the opposite. Instead of my whole life was a crisis, and I was grasping onto every friend or every hobby or anything that I was interested in, and kind of like taking that as far as I could until I felt failure, and then backing out for fear of feeling even more. So then I'd try another thing, but it was like I was trying to find myself in all those things. And then last year I just realized there was a term called non-binary, and I was like, I'm not the last dinosaur! This exists! I don't have to feel like a woman all the time. And I told the kids that like, knowing that existed, I had this epiphany, and it was like all these flashbacks, being able to see all these memories, and I was like, that day I felt not like a girl in my memory. That day was kind of like, a boy me was out to play softball, and like I had this shell of mind, like I don't look like a girl today, and it was just crazy that like literally none of that was ever a thing, you know, growing up. None of these terms were a thing, but it was so freeing to have like, I don't owe anybody a style. I don't owe anyone anything, a label or my hair, and I've always grown my hair out for men. And I was like, you know how long it takes me? And then the older I've gotten, I have fibromyalgia and all the other factors that it has nothing to do with it. So I told the kids, like, as much as I've given you open-mindedness and things to think about, I also want you to remember expression doesn't have to do anything with what I like or who I like, but I have pain in my arms. So having no hair was really freeing, and it was actually like the life goal that I was in a hair family, and it was a challenge to me. Like, can you go without it? Can you accept who you are? And like in America, especially with all of our pressure on being the perfect woman and perfect makeup and perfect hair all the time.
I think a lot of power is put and pushed into women's hair, and that's kind of definitely something that society pushes. I feel like
Yes.
it's a very, I mean, maybe not as much now because I think the world is becoming a little more woke, in my very personal
Yes,
opinion.
I do. It's like I feel a bubbling going on, like a boil, a slow boil
But I
of the
do
world.
think that's definitely a thing, and that's when I very first, like, that's how I found you on Facebook, was whenever you cut your hair. Like, you cut your hair on
I
a
shaved it
video.
on a live video on my, I think it was Instagram Live, and I shared it. But it was like a 9-minute video because I was so like, am I gonna do this? I'm gonna keep it like a little mohawk, and then I was like, nope.
There's something so powerful in that, like, so memorable, and like I won't forget that. Like, that was just a very, and I don't know why it hit so hard, but it really did. Like, that's definitely something. I don't know
No,
why.
I definitely felt it.
Don't cry about me.
I feel like I did cry when I watched it, actually.
It was a big deal to me, so I'm glad that like you guys felt it. But it was like I thought I was gonna cry when I did it. So it's like you guys are saying how I felt like I was gonna be, but then it was instantly I just saw the me that I'd been looking for. I think it was like I pictured myself bald for so long or shaved head for so long that like every haircut wasn't making me satisfied, and I was like, that's not me, no. And I'm gonna change my color. You guys know I change my color all the time, but I also went to hair school, so I feel like not like it's an obligation by any means, but like if you're a clothing designer, you're gonna wear all the clothes that you design. So I was like considering myself a walking advertisement for hair, so I would always change it, but people thought it was some kind of like expression or something, but really, I mean, yeah, I love it, but I'm the girl that colored on everything. Like my notebooks, my backpacks, myself, I was coloring on me. I was selling tattoos in the bathroom for like a quarter, like meet me in the bathroom, I'll put a tattoo on you. I was like drawing them on people in 3rd grade. I was always trying something. Been hustling since 3rd grade.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Okay. Somebody called me again during the video. I don't know why people do that. Okay, so I'm gonna check out comments really quick because we get so into it. We get so into it. And good morning if you guys just started watching. We're gonna check out your comments. God,
and I'm gonna roll a blunt.
Yes, Scout. Oh my God, I
call myself the Bluntsmith.
Bluntsmith. And you know, I absolutely love blunts. If you ever watch our videos, we've probably talked about that a million times. And so it's going to be great getting to see Scout do that. And you do a lot of things like that on your Scout 101's page, right?
Yeah.
Tell us a little about that one.
Yeah, I started making lives in a bunch of groups, and then I realized, I mean, since we're having to like be careful about how we post and spacing everything out and doing all this, it's really hard to find what you're looking for in some of these groups with code words now.
Yeah.
So I was like, maybe I'm just going to make a page where all these videos are. That way it's more like, you know, not a business page, but it's not just for that. Like, sometimes I'm like, man, I'm cooking, and I don't even know if any of my friends know how to make this. I should put this on live.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for doing that.
I mean, I have a lot of the people in our community are younger than me, and so I'm like, if I had like time around them, I would be like, let me show you how to make some stuff, so you can take this on. I'm a person that teach people how to fish, instead of just, you know,
so they give them the self.
I want you to feed yourself, yes, and make it your own. But Scout 101s is my page for that, and so
you'll have to go back and tag it later in the comments.
I'm gonna do a lot more on there, but those holidays kicked my butt. So I have a few things
we're starting
on there.
over in February. February is when. Remember
That's
that, guys.
real
That's
New
what's
Year.
happening.
We should have a New Year's on the 30th.
Yeah, that's what I feel like. I feel like it's just now coming up for New Year's. Like, oh, we're at the end of this.
Okay, coffee, a dab, and a joint this morning. Yeah. Shell, you did a dab this morning, didn't you?
I did.
What is this?
In the banger, I was dabbing on Blue Madness batter from Take a Trip.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
They asked what's in our paper. What's in yours?
What's in mine? Ooh, I have a pre-roll. I went and stopped. If you're in Tulsa, stop at OHG. I went there and got a couple of the super cheap pre-rolls. I got gelato and one that I've never heard of. Dread bread.
Nice. I love that.
So I'm totally gonna look that one up later and check that out and see what I can find on Leafly about that. I don't know if you guys use Leafly, but That's definitely, I go to Shell and my community first, and then I go to Leafly and check out like different string things, because some of them I don't know a lot about, and then like I know gelato, like I love gelato, so that's what I definitely already.
You know, I was thinking the other day, how many people say strain or strand?
Yeah.
Right.
What do you have?
I think
Give it.
this is. Nope, that's just I have fluff head.
That's awesome.
That's what it's called. That's what's in there. I was like, wait, I know the name of it. Fluff head from Oklahoma.
Oh, I have to show you guys too. OHG. When I stopped there this morning, I got one of these shirts. Super fantastic. So thank you, OHG. You guys are super nice. Sorry. Let me burn it. We're testing the flammability. But stop by and get the pre-rolls. They're fantastic. What are you guys smoking?
This is it's a CJ's blend pre-roll. I believe it's actually a 1-to-1.
Okay. That's a good way to start your morning. The balance. Good balance. Oh, dope girls. Whoop whoop. I'm still trying to get through comments, guys. Sorry. They said dope girls. Whoop whoop. You is the best. Lots of love.
Get that money,
Scout.
Casey.
What is the lady in the middle's name? She was at the Bong Boutique the other day, and she took her son, and he loves the place. What's your name?
I am Shell. Shell Cook.
This is Shell. She's fantastic. She is like homegrown queen, glass goddess. Like, she has all the tips and advice about those things
Hi,
for you.
Bree.
I can teach you how to dab.
Yes, and she can do.
Damn.
And then Scout can roll blunts, and she's gonna show us that.
Yeah, I'm about to actually. I just wanted to make sure if like there was comments to me, I was like, let me say hi.
It's neat having Scout on there today too. Yes, we think so as well. We love Scout. We're super happy to be here. Scout made the most amazing breakfast ever. I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah.
Which if you filled out the guest form, you know it asks at the bottom if you're bringing breakfast. Which started out as a joke, but are you bringing breakfast?
Yeah, I'm pretty happy about
She's
it.
at the bar now.
Yeah, the bar has been set. Dream Queen, Mimosa, those are all good ones for me, I think. Dread Bread is pretty good. Sativa. Thank you, Jazz. You're fantastic. Absolutely love you.
Oh, Jennifer said the coffee pot's in the way now.
Oh, coffee pot, dang it. Follow.
Do you guys need a refill? You good right now?
I'm good right now.
Okay.
You guys should follow Jasmine Harvey's photography page.
Yes.
And
She was at the Women in Weed taking your photos.
yes,
Sunday.
and What the Widow. Check out What the Widow. It's a support group for young widows and their support system. Casey, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Dang, there's so many comments. Sorry.
Okay, I'm just now starting my blunt. I had like a little mini this morning before they got here, but because I start my mornings not very healthy. It was a sick morning. Oh, but look, I have these goodies to show you.
That's fantastic. This is sorry. Let me just grab it up your face.
It's to hold it, you know, like your little pre-roll right here. It's a little silicone ring.
That's so nifty.
But I got it because when we play video games and you can't hold it.
Yeah.
So you could at least like.
That's that stoner ingenuity, and that's, you know, it's not even couch potato because you're being inventive. So even if you're playing the video games, which is working your mind, okay, you're doing the things. You came up with a cool idea. Let's see. Oh, Jesse says
Hi,
you've been
buddy.
following Altered Apparel for a while, and you have some really cool stuff.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jesse. for commenting.
My shirts are making a feature appearance
Oh
right
yeah.
now.
This is some of
Some of the stuff I'm gonna have Saturday at our flower power event, and then
I'm gonna go pick
I
like
want
two
to
of
buy
my favorite
everything in
things.
my size.
Come pick two favorite things and let's show it.
but then I'm gonna have more with Jamie Sweetleaf. We're gonna have a pop up here at my house, but the day before Valentine's, in case anyone forgot, you know, last minute gifts for their smoker lover. I'm about to roll this blunt because I'm behind and I'm jealous.
Okay, I'm gonna show this one. I've grabbed two of my absolute favorites out of there. Look at this.
I love that.
So so fancy. Check
I
it
might
out,
have
check
worn it,
out.
so it's not ironed right now.
They're upcycled. Anyways,
I loved it so
right?
much. Yes, they're a thrift store, usually because that's how I keep my prices low.
Yes, and that's good to reuse
I'd rather your money go to ganja.
instead of just creating more waste in the world. Why don't we just keep reusing, repurposing, and sharing things?
Yes, and it consolidates your closet if you have a flannel or a t-shirt that you can pair together.
And honestly, I do the flannel thing like every day. I
You
wear
wear
flannels.
flannels every
wear
time I
flannels
see you, and
all
it
the
makes me
time.
so excited, but I'm like, I need to bleach that bitch out.
Yeah, I think both of us wear flannel pretty much every day. Except today, which is kind of weird. Alright, I brought the bright stuff.
This is like
Nice.
perfect for Valentine's. I just
Yes,
made this
I
one.
fucking love that one.
And I just love the colors on this. I'm obsessed with this one.
I love that one too.
I need
It's
everything to
Wrangler.
be like 3 sizes smaller.
So I also take donations that will lower the price of your own customization or shirt. So I keep record of whoever gives me donations, and
You can just sneak past me.
if you have stuff to get rid of as well, you know,
Right, that's good.
like you said, getting rid of waste in the world. So many people have clothes that they don't wear. But I just recently was reminded that, like, you know, when a loved one passes, everyone gets a shirt or something.
Mm-hmm.
And so we got flannels from my papa's closet, and he wasn't really a t-shirt person. So now I'm like on the hunt for a t-shirt or a patch that has like his favorite band or something on it. So I'll be able to wear his flannel, but in my style,
Mm-hmm.
rather than feeling like, you know, almost obligatory and, you know, with sad cloud around it. You know,
Right,
you don't want it to be
Having
that
like
way.
put it somewhere in your
You want it to be
closet
something
or
that's like got a
hiding
purpose and it's yours, but it still has them in it.
or- Right.
Yeah.
Rather than like a pillow or a quilt like everyone usually does, it's more like you could see it more often.
Most definitely. And when it's a shirt from someone, it's like a hug.
Yes, I
So-
feel like that. It's like a fabric hug.
That's good. I like that. I like the thought of that. I'm gonna ask blunt questions. Since I roll gloves too, I'm just gonna.
Oh, okay. Do I need to be
Um,
explaining anything?
I don't know how to
No,
do that either.
I'm just gonna ask.
Okay.
Is there a difference? Do you have a preference on how you grind? Do you use a grinder? Do you cut it? Like,
I
is
pretty
there?
much only exclusively. I was just given this one at Women in Weed from Herbology, and actually, because I'm not a grinder snob, that was fine for me.
Mhm.
But being on the spectrum, you think of things differently.
Yeah.
So my brain is like, if I use a grinder, then there's stuff that's stuck in it all the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you actually, you know, lose a micro percentage of your stash every time.
Well,
And maybe it turns to keef, you know, but
Yeah.
it's all in the grooves and it
Yeah.
gets sticky all around the teeth, and there's literally no way to make every single piece, like vacuum out of it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, no.
I have what looks
So-
like a little mini like wire grill brush, and it's probably the size of a toothbrush, but a wire one.
Oh, okay.
And I scrape around my grinder, and I just knock all that keep out of it that I scrape off.
My sister has used a paintbrush,
Okay.
or like a
Well,
really
see, some
small
of it's too
paintbrush.
stuck on for that. So the
yeah,
wire tooth really just pulls it
that sounds
off.
good. I usually use this because of that,
Oh my god. Okay, I've seen these.
and it's
And
like
I
a
don't
bud cheese
understand.
grater.
I don't know.
So let me show you before I finish this.
I've
Look
seen
at
them.
this.
I haven't tried one.
I've seen these, and a lot of little, like, if you get the kits, like the papers, sometimes they'll have something like this in there, and I'm super confused by this, and I need help.
Okay, so what you do, I'll just do a little one to show you, is literally just like cheese. Like, you can go like this,
Why is that so confusing to me until now? Why
or
why
like,
is that,
especially
like,
if you have
throwing
nails,
Okay.
you don't want to get your nails on there. So
Ooh.
Yeah.
you could do it like this
me? Okay.
and just roll it around.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, that's simple. And,
And the
that's
harder you
simple.
push, like the more fine it gets, I think. So you can just barely do it, and it's more chunky.
Yeah.
See,
But-
now that I've seen one used, I'm all about it. Like,
There's literally
I would
nothing.
totally use one.
There's nothing left.
I think that would
Like,
definitely be a fun.
That's some
extra
sticky
thing
there,
to
like
do,
that
yeah.
black. That's some sticky. It's just stuck. Like some of those buds are really sticky, but
But that's great for on the go.
but yes.
I love my
Yes, it's
grinder
supposed to
so
be able to
much,
fit in
though,
your
but I
wallet.
think I would definitely
So.
invest in one of those too. I think that'd be a good on the go thing.
Jasmine just said great for on the go. See, this is obviously a fact.
It's not sharp enough to, like, my fingers are on it. Unfortunately hard. Like, it doesn't hurt your fingers at all.
Anna didn't know, she has that in her dugout box, and she didn't know how to use it, so.
Nice.
That's good.
It's really easy.
I feel like I have one at home that I got with a little to-go, like, dab kit thing. It was pretty cute, but I feel like it had one of those, and I was like, what is this?
I've tried to find others to gift people, because after they've come over to my house and they've seen it, they're like, oh, I want one too. I can't find one that has that big of an area of a grater now.
Yeah.
All the ones I find is like, it's like a spade in the shape of a spade, and like that's the only part that's a grater. I saw one the other day that actually looked like a Star Wars ship, and like the whole ship had holes in it. It was pretty cool, but like the grating area is pretty small.
Okay, well, if you guys know local places, I mean, bigger brands too, because it's not just locals that watch this, but if you know local places that sell those, comment, or anywhere, comment
I know those
where they
mini
get those
ones
at.
are at Sassy's.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're
They just
curiosity.
don't have a big
I do
area.
like Curiosity.
I've never heard of them. Where are they?
It's Oz.
Oh, okay.
What is that? 15th and Harvard-ish?
I'm just the worst person
It's
in
on
the world
15.
with directions and addresses and stuff. I
Yeah.
can't do it.
So if you're like on the VA, you exit 15th, and it's like pretty close to Harvard. It's like I think a purple house. It's a bright color, maybe blue. We might be learning. I might be
green, maybe blue.
colorblind.
We'll find out. Let us know if you know. Sorry, totally got distracted.
But it's a
Okay.
bright color.
So do you like it more finely ground or like a chunkier grind when you're doing blunts?
I like a mix of medium and fine.
Medium grind.
Yes.
Okay.
Because I think the fine fills in the holes and it won't be too airy.
Yeah.
But if it's too fine, it'll be real resiny and you'll get a clog.
I've gotten to where I like to do like Keith and stuff like that on blunts. So I think that adds like a nice little razzle dazzle on the medium grind blunts.
I cleaned my tip for this.
Do you usually do a tip or do you do paper tips or what?
I usually do a tip from my blunt package actually.
Oh my goodness.
But a lot of times I'm buying pre-rolls because it's already ground up, especially because my neuropathy in the morning. That first blunt is definitely usually pre-roll. And I'll just cut it open. So that's already ready to go, and then I have that tip. So I can stick that in the end of my blunt and just make it real tight at the bottom.
Okay.
So repurposing everything in this house.
Yeah.
No, I think that's great you said that because one of my friends, Jude, like, I'd put out my pre-roll and I popped the pre-roll pack back open and dropped the tip in there. And she was like, really? That's the one thing that is biodegradable. And she's like, or wait, do you like reuse it? Like on other things? And I was like, no, but I could. It could last at least 3 more probably.
The only bad part about it is that it's kind of like to a cone shape.
Yeah.
So I end up having to just wrap overlapping it just a little bit closer to the end. So my sister actually gave me this little glass tip.
Sounds cute. I usually don't do tips with my blunts, but I've learned to kind of roll the way I roll my mouthpieces are like a unique special trademark I do. And I think it's really good for blunts and it's smoother, but I do, because I've gotten more into the joints and cones and pre-rolls and stuff, so I use this. And I think being a blunt person, the one complaint I hear a lot of, and I have myself, is that a joint and a cone doesn't smoke the same.
Yeah.
Like it's just a total,
Yeah.
the pull is different, everything
Mhm.
about it is different, it's not as enjoyable really. But a lot of people don't want to do the nicotine.
Mm-hmm.
These make the pull so much smoother. And
I've seen you guys in all
feel
those with your
nicer.
pictures, and I was like, man, they must love those
I do. I
things.
literally
That's
use
awesome.
one every time, because if it's a joint or a cone, like it feels like a blunt. It really feels like a blunt to me. And I don't really like I do like hemp wraps, but they're not the same as a
They're
blunt.
not.
And I don't know. Yeah, I
usually cut off a piece of this and like roll it the way we see it in a pre-roll, like a little bit of a Z, like zigzag, and roll it around, and I'll stick it in the end. And people that know me, they're like, oh, Scott rolled this one. And then I had somebody come over last night, one of his friends, and he was like, I put a tip in this just so you won't talk shit.
Let me press my thing.
Okay. I need to use your lighter again too, because I'm terrible. It's literally not the pre-roll, it's myself. I like to talk and breathe and things like that between hits. And then I let it go out every time. I'm a terrible smoker. I'm sorry, guys.
So because I can't roll, I usually get the hemp wraps, and it's got a little notch for a tip, like a paper one that you can slide on there, and then just wrap it around
Show that.
and
That's
form it,
nice.
and then you can pull it off and stuff it like a cone.
Wow.
That's nice.
Because every now and then I want a blunt, but I can't roll.
So you can do that with a blunt wrap on that.
See if
It's like a wood. It looks like a pre-roll to them, probably.
Yeah, I mean it's shaped like it.
Okay.
Got like a little keychain hole up there. You want to take it with you? But yeah, I just like I'll usually get like the high hemp, and it comes with the tip already. So I'll slide the tip on, wrap it around, seal it up, and just pop it off and stuff it.
That's cool. I've never seen one of those.
I got it in a subscription box.
That is really cool.
Yeah, people are coming back.
How
in.
simple.
Good morning if you just started watching. People are coming in. We've been on
This,
live for a few minutes, man.
This is called a rosewood cone roller.
I love it. I just love this. This is so cool. I've never seen anything like this.
If you guys have blunt rolling questions, you can approach me at anything you see me at. Just tell me what your name is, please.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have people teach me how to roll a blunt, and we'll record it and
Yeah. And
make a fancy video.
I think I roll mine backwards is what I've heard a million times what people have told me. Like I roll mine left to right, but I feel like that's the correct way to do it. And I've had people tell me that's backwards, like
I roll
so
mine
many
left
times.
to right because
Okay.
I'm right-handed and
Has
I want to
anyone ever
control where
told
the
you
tip
that
goes.
you're doing it backwards? No.
No.
God,
I mean,
I
I
just
just
been
know
hanging out
both-
with a bunch of lefties and like it's awkward. I don't know.
Because I'm totally right-handed, so
Yeah.
I think I'm just used to this hand can stay still,
Yeah.
but this is the hand with skill, and I need it to be free all the time. This one can just pinch and roll. Like I got this.
That makes sense.
That's a nice blunt. I'm so excited I finally got to see like what one of your blunts look like.
Yeah, this is kind of a skinny one too. I usually have them a little bit fatter, but
I'll let this go out again. See guys, I'm the worst. It's so bad.
This is how she ended up with 2 of my lighters.
Complete accident.
I'm one of those people. Huh?
I would no. I
The
don't even
lighter
steal
stealer.
it. I don't even steal it
You need
because
this.
I'm a thief. I do it. Oh, that's fancy.
I think
Um,
Michelle needs to use this. This is
I have to hold on to the lighter for an
See how it's
extended
like-
period of time because I will.
It needs to be like
you know,
that.
my thing will go out, so it accidentally ends up in my pockets, and it's just because I'm forgetful, and that's been been whispered that that's an effect of prolonged cannabis use.
It's too big.
But I'm willing to.
I tried to pull
take
in one
that.
day. I got a Cruella de Vil smoker from the Bomb Boutique.
Lefties for life. You roll yours left to right. Okay, well then I'm not weird. Thank you. Because people have been telling me that. I have to say, the gelato is absolutely one of my favorites, and I'm just going to randomly give you guys a fun fact about that. And I feel so much better because I was so anxious.
I like that strain.
So anxious before we started, and I get anxious every time we go live, guys, just so you know. And I feel so much better now.
You know, only a few strains ever stand out to me because I have such a high tolerance. So I feel like if I remember it, then it was good.
Yeah.
And one of the ones that I love, but I hate to say, is Skittles.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, can you name it just Skittles? Can we just
They
with
can't,
the
I think
Z
it's,
on
I think
the
it's
end.
the trademark thing.
With the Z on the end, it's totally
Is
different.
there already a thing?
Like,
There
put
already
the Skittles there. Not the front,
Right.
like D Skittles. But that was to where I used a pinch hitter and I could feel it in a few hits. And I was like, nausea gone. I'm awake for the day. This is awesome. And I could just sprinkle it like Keith or something else in my blunts and I loved it.
Yeah.
But I love the Connoisseur Cannabis GMO. It's
GMO is one
so
of my
good.
favorites. I haven't had theirs, but I've gone to Rosebuds and
So good.
I've had GMO. I think at Rosebuds and a few other places. I can't think offhand, but that's definitely one I go for.
had GMO. Didn't it have it at Red Hot?
I think probably is.
There's a few places. We'll have to look later.
I love Robot Farmer and Rosebuds for like visual, like they
Those
make me
stuff.
like remember like, oh, I'm so kidding about it.
Yeah.
Like I want to buy that.
Yeah.
I'm not like regretting the purchase or anything, you know. It's just beautiful. As a photographer, I'm like, I want to take up close pictures of that before I touch it.
I think think it seems like in Oklahoma, everyone, the growers, not everyone, but the majority of what I've seen, maybe I've just been really lucky, it's the flower's been looking better. Like,
Yes.
so maybe the growers are just getting comfortable here. They've been through enough harvests now that they've kind of got it down to a fine art. There's always variables,
Yeah.
right? But I think they're kind of figuring it out, and I think the quality of medicine is really going up in Oklahoma for sure.
It is, absolutely. Like, I've started branching out and checking out some other places, and I mean, I'm pretty happy with what I'm seeing now.
Yeah, Coley West in Claremore, I go there. I love their flour. Pretty much the majority of their flour there. I really, really like. It looks good. It tastes good. Like everything there, I can find something good about it. So there's really, and then OHG today, like that was the first time I've ever been there. I think they have a couple of locations, but I went to one in Tulsa. So yeah,
I didn't bring any of it on camera today, but I went to Green Country Dispensary, and I got this frosty banana punch. And then
I love Frosty.
yes.
it's so frosty and cushy. And then I got a Venom OG, which it's just overall a nice one. Like, it smells nice, it looks nice, it smokes nice.
Yes, I think that's where like the journaling definitely is going to start coming in handy. Is like, because trying more things and getting out there a little bit more and feeling more comfortable trying new places. There's going to be new strains and stuff that I want to start keeping track of, and like
Those
really
medical
honing in,
journals
like-
are amazing for that. Those
Yeah.
bud journals or whatever they're calling.
Do you do
I
a
really
journal
need to
thing?
get one. No, I need
Do
to
you
get
do
one.
any, like, because I just do a notebook.
I'm
like
so ADD. That organization, I love the functionality of it,
Mhm.
but I do not maintain it.
yeah.
And so, like, I can literally come in your house and organize your closet and your pantry and, like, everything. But, like, I'm leaving, so it's up to you. But unfortunately, the same thing happens at my own house. I'm like, it's good today,
Yeah.
but we're going to talk in 2 days. And so I've tried so hard to find what's my way to be organized. And it's usually visual.
Mhm.
So I have to find, like, my perfect kind of planner, my kind of calendar. And people are like, use your phone. And I'm like, I don't want to be on my phone more. And I'm a visual person. If I write it down, that's a way of memorization.
Yeah.
You tell somebody else about it, you teach it out, you sing it. Like, there's so many different ways to memorize things. And I'm like, I'm not going to memorize it by telling my phone.
Yeah.
It's like using GPS and not knowing your way back home.
Yeah.
You know? So I'm like, I don't want to do it that way. But
Which one of y'all is the dab expert? What's the easiest concentrate to start out with? That's a big.
I think
I tried sugar crumble. I think
sugars
that's
are
easy
easy
because
to
the little,
work with.
you can just put a little crumble on your rig as
Yeah.
it's hot. And that's, I mean,
And
that's
then,
how I do
like,
it. Or put it on your blunts or.
the live resins are pretty easy to work with.
I think
Now
it
those
depends
can go in
on
your blunts
yours.
too, right? In your bowl, or live resin can get dropped on stuff.
Yeah.
I think
And
that's
you can
another
totally
thing. It
crumble
depends
on top of your bowl, too.
your accessory or your way that you're using it. Like, that'll make a difference too, right?
Yeah.
And there's probably easier ways for beginners to use any kind of concentrates, I think, too. So.
Yeah, if you're gonna put it in a bowl, I would recommend, like, making a little sandwich of it so it burns nice.
You don't want to torch it, right? Like, don't
On the
just
top?
go
Yeah,
ham,
like,
like,
torching
yeah.
it, like, let it burn
Okay.
like a coal with the bud.
Is that what you do? Are you like, oh, I'm rethinking my life. I've been torching it.
No, I've only
I mean, you're
bought
still gonna get
concentrate
it,
like
but-
once, just because I think I have some kind of asthma type issue, and it's more like my vocal cords. So I think that, like, just the process of dabbing just doesn't work out for me. So I was like, nope. I retried it. Nope, same thing. I retried it. Nope, and it's like $60 to retry it. You know?
Yeah.
Have you tried
So-
the different pens and stuff to use with concentrates?
No,
Like,
because
this
I was
has a really
interested
nice-
in that. Because I love vaping, and I thought, I mean, if I could just have a dab vape.
Yeah.
But I
They
feel
have
like
those.
what they're saying when you see like 89, 93%, you'd think that's like dab high percent. But I don't feel like how people look when they're on a dab.
I don't know.
I think my tolerance
Yeah.
is just like,
It's a
bye.
tolerance, yeah, and just
Bye,
probably
there it
finding,
goes.
probably finding the right terpenes and the right just mixes of things.
See, I
will
wanted to study a lot of
really
that
affect
lately
that.
though.
That journal,
like,
you gotta do that
a
journal.
GMO and anything cheese and like golden goat.
Yes, golden goat. Yeah.
I'm like,
That's
I
a
want
good
that.
one.
That smell, that cheesy smell.
I think we
whatever
have
that
similar
terpene.
tastes in cannabis. I think that's what I'm hearing.
My buddy Chris from 918 Concentrates grew some fire golden goat. Like, it tasted just as good as it smelled.
Nice. You know, I would say that one thing I steer away from is probably anything that says Kush or OG, because I feel like they slap that on to make you like want to buy it.
Yeah.
I think it's like when you see
Ocean
Girl
Girl,
Scout
like
cookies. Girl Scout cookies used to be something that we all like sought out, and now it's like pretty common, and it doesn't look that great anymore. And I'm like, did it look great to us before? Or did the quality go down? But I think that like also with like hybrids and splicing, and you don't know who and how they grew it, and like everything looks different. It's like a chocolate chip cookie is not the same anywhere else.
Yeah. That's a great comparison. That's actually a really good comparison.
So Girl Scout cookies reminds me of that. Literally like cookies. They're all different.
As a grower myself, if I won't smoke it, I will not sell it. It has to look nice, feel nice, and smell badass. That's good, Marilyn. Thank you.
Yes.
That's what we need. Like, you have to be able to support your products no matter what it is. If you don't love it, then you shouldn't put it out there, because that's not.
Anytime I cook food, I'm gonna eat that too.
Yeah,
that's right.
I mean, you gotta have pride in what you're putting out.
That Okla Buds down the street from here, they have a few jars right now that are homegrown. I don't know if they're from the homegrown place that you were mentioning, but it's some kind of home grow. Those buds are huge, the biggest Northern Lights buds I've ever seen. And I've seen a few patients in the area here around me, like my friends, and they've grown. I can kill anything. So
I'm the same. Thank God for Shell. I'm so
you can
glad.
tell. You can tell when it got like a schedule of lighting versus an outdoor grow.
Yeah.
And those buds just it's potential instead of, what I was saying about Girl Scout cookies.
Yeah.
So, it's crazy.
Oh man, I think we have like taken up everybody's morning, like so much of everybody's life this morning.
Terpenes that help with anxiety. Definitely limonene. And then I've been noticing with a lot of the strains I find myself using, the main three are limonene, myrcene, and caryophyllene.
I was going to say myrcene, and I don't know if that's something that is a common thing, or if that's just something I've noticed of myself as well, and that's one I kind of lean towards, because I have that generalized anxiety,
Yeah.
so...
Yeah, I've tried to, like, if I see those are, like, the top 3 terps in any strain, I'll usually pick it without, like, hesitation in comparison to, like, what other stuff's around me. As long as it, like, is quality, obviously. But
Absolutely. And
Oh, really, Jesse? I'm going to have to see you go live with that. An electric nectar collector?
it's like a electric. That sounds familiar.
we'll have to see it. Show me it.
Well, see,
Show me
what
it.
I'm envisioning is literally like if you had it all concealed and no one can tell what you're actually doing.
Oh, wait,
is
I've
dabbing.
used an electric nectar collector, like the honey badger. My friend Lisa had a honey badger, and
I don't know what the source
it
is.
was like, it almost looked like a vape box, but it had the little nectar collector tip at the bottom, and she put a bubbler attachment on it, but you clicked it, let it heat up, and then you dipped it and drew.
Huh.
Is that like what yours is? I want to see it. We should see it soon. I want to
I
find
have a
out.
picture of the honey badger. I can't post it today. I'm in jail.
Yeah, Shell is in jail.
It's my first time.
She's in Facebook jail right now.
Just visiting.
So I'm so sorry. So to show, Wake and Bake some love, show Dope Girl Diaries some love, because you can't show Shell any love today, because she has been shut down for today.
I'll be back tomorrow. That thing is cool. It's got like the little flip out coil at the bottom.
The vibing at like.
I don't know
death
anything
thoughts.
about these words that you're saying. I'm just like, can someone just
We'll
hand
have
me
to start
something? I
showing
just
you,
push
yeah.
a button.
Let's start.
That's what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like it's like a little box, and it's got this little thing at the bottom that flips out, and it's your coil. And you put that on the coil, and you just push it back in and push the button.
Super easy even for me, and I'm like bad
But
at
like-
stuff.
Like how I'm seeing people use rigs, though. Is it like done in a few hits? You'd have to get more out. I'm saying like in public. Like, what about refill time? How long is it
I
good
think
for?
those are probably better for,
Oh.
for no that particular thing, like the dab box, that's good for on the go. I
Yeah.
think. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely, that's
Yeah.
a good one. You don't have to like do
I'm
a
gonna have
lot
to look
of
into
things.
that. Jailbird.
Oops.
Just need to add it.
Has to smoke nice. Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Well, we gotta go do things with our lives today, guys. And we're super glad that we are here. And thank you for coming, Scout. We love you. We're gonna have to make sure to go back and like tag all your things in the comments later so people can follow you, buy all the things, buy these fabulous things. Oh, we turned that all crazy, but there's fabulous things. I'm blind, so I can't see that far. But we hope you guys have a fabulous day, and we love you. Scout will have to have you back on again, because clearly we just want to sit here all day with you.
Right.
This is what I do.
Yeah. And thank you for showing us how to roll a blunt, and I will vouch that is a fabulous blunt, guys. It looks fantastic.
It does.
Thank you. Blunt out.
Does anybody want to say anything before we go?
I hope to see whoever can go Saturday to the Flower Power event. I'll be there. So say hi.
All right.
Bye.
Love you.
Have a good
Bye.
Thursday.